Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for mid-March 2025. You have this card that says step out of your comfort zone. You also have this card that says hold your vision. Yeah, pretty much everyone has to do this right now because we're all being asked to do something like impossible at this time. And no, it's not really impossible. It just feels impossible. So we have Neptune in Pisces and Saturn in Pisces, which, Neptune is the big impossible dream. And Saturn says, well, if you get to work, then you can accomplish your big impossible dream. So I think that's why, stuff like this comes up for almost every single sign at this time. And it's funny that card says North Node because we also have the North Node in Pisces. So, it's kind of like a little bit of extra confirmation on that message. You have the Moon, the Lovers, and the King of Pentacles here. The Moon makes a lot of sense with that hold your vision card and the step out of your comfort zone card because the Moon is part of the Fool's journey. And when the Fool gets to the Moon, he has pretty much no clue where he's going. The Moon is a card of like fears, illusions, fantasies, not seeing things clearly, all that other good stuff. But nowhere on the Moon does it say stop. The Fool has to get to these mountains in the background here, and he needs to not get distracted. The other thing is that we have these two pillars, which I'm really focused on in your reading. The two pillars are distraction of the Fool. Like sometimes when we get very close to accomplishing something, that's when we switch to like something else, right? We decide like, oh, I'll work on something else. I'll go do something else. Because when we get very close to the end of a goal, that's usually when we meet the most resistance, which the mountains, right? The Fool has to climb the mountain to get to the top to accomplish whatever he's trying to accomplish. So a lot of resistance when he gets to the end. And, I feel like some of you are at that place where you're actually very close, but you could be feeling resistance or you could be feeling like something is not possible, but it is. You just have to climb that mountain, and you're a freaking Capricorn, so you can easily climb the mountain, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And look at how this reading is set up. We go down to the Six of Wands to the Eight of Wands, which is definitely a victory, right? Six of Wands is victory. Eight of Wands is a quick success. I'm not saying it's going to be quick and it actually shows up in a future position. So I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight, but definitely very close to a success. You have the Lovers. Could be a little bit of love here. I mean, as usual with you, Capricorn, it's like I feel like Capricorn readings are just basically like, if you want it, it's there. It's like not very, I don't know if it's like not as important to you, which, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Or if it's just kind of like you're doing other things in your life and, that's more important, but love always just seems like a side effect in your life, which again, there's nothing really wrong with that. Sometimes I think the best relationships come in when we're not looking. So, that could also be what I'm feeling here on this Lovers energy. The Lovers can also represent making a choice or a decision on anything that you're trying to do in your life. And I do feel that a lot of you have, like, I feel like you already have made a decision. Like if you're thinking about like your job or if you want to make a career move or a business move or whatever, I kind of feel that a lot of you have made a decision. And sorry if you can hear the noise. We're having a little bit of a thunderstorm here, and it's the rain is very loud. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's very loud on my windows. But anyway, like I said, I feel like you're finally making a choice. You have the King of Pentacles here. Yeah, I feel like you're very focused on stability. All Earth signs are very focused on stability right now, especially getting to the end of Uranus and Taurus like we are right now. I think Earth signs will have like extra focus on creating things that are stable, like, jobs, businesses, careers, relationships, friendships, fun things, hobbies that you do as well. That's the other thing, definitely for Capricorn. Like I think it's a great time for hobbies, just for getting out of your head, with all the head energy that you're probably dealing with right now. So, finding hobbies, finding things that bring more enjoyment into your life are going to make you feel more free. And the more free you feel, the better things you attract into your life. So I would definitely recommend it. I think people don't think of hobbies as like important, but they're actually like probably more important than working, believe it or not, because it's, hobbies, things that we get into that flow state in, that's the only place good answers come from. So I am a big fan of people doing other things than working all the time. And you're a Capricorn and you have a problem with this. I am also basically a Capricorn and I have a major problem with this. So, I'm far from perfect. I need to fix it too, right? But let's see where this is going. That didn't work at all. Let's see. With the moon, you have the justice card. Balance, balancing things out. Again, work and play. I'm kind of surprised the two of pentacles didn't show up here, because that king of pentacles is giving me a definite two of pentacles vibe. Like, you need to also work and play. Make sure you're balancing both sides of the scales out. I kind of feel like some of you could be experiencing just feeling like things are more just, more fair, which makes a lot of sense. Pluto finally having left your sign could make you feel like things are more fair and balanced, which is good. With the lovers, you have the Nine of Wands, which you have twice here. So we go lovers, Nine of Wands to the Nine of Wands. Maybe that's why I feel like love is a side effect. Well, the Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. So if you do want love, I would make sure that you're healing with the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a card of not giving up as well. So, maybe some of you have recently decided to not give up on love, or maybe you're kind of like thinking about opening up to it in some way. So, there you go. I really have nothing else there. With the King of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Cups. Yes, Nine of Cups is also kind of like an energy of sitting in good things. This is why I said the thing about hobbies. Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, but the reason he's getting his wish is because he is in perfect alignment with what he wants. He is sitting with these 9 cups, but he's meant to look chubby on this card because he is about to have a feast. And he looks chubby because it says that he has had a feast before. And so the card itself says that for us to have something in our life, we have to have it before we can have it. And people always say, how is that possible? And I always say, well, you don't actually have to have the thing. You just have to be in the energy. If you want love, go do something you love. Or take yourself on a date, go do what you would do if you were not single. If you want more money, same thing. Like, go be around wealth. Go do something that makes you feel abundant, and that's how we can attract things faster with the 9 of Cups. But we have to match the energy with the 9 of Cups to get the thing that we want, and I would definitely recommend it. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this competition card. It says, remember, there is no competition if you are truly original. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is a card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. And I also feel the reading itself is saying you do have very original ideas. Queen of Wands at the end. The Queen of Wands is very original. And sometimes she doesn't start her journey because she is afraid of what people will think, because her ideas are too original. And so there is a problem with original ideas, right? They say that the people who come up with original ideas are the ones who end up with arrows in their back because they're the first to do something. But the Queen of Wands is about doing it anyway. So there you go. You have this travel card. It says, embarking on a journey could be your path to wealth as abundant opportunities await in the world. Yes. Capricorn, you are the world card. So I think that travel, moving around would be a good idea for you. This could be mental travel as well. You could just be learning new things or making connections between different ideas. Things like that could be increasing your abundance, which would be a good thing. You start with the 9 of Wands, 6 of Wands, and the 9 of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles, again, says don't give up. I mean, this kind of is your card in some ways because it says don't give up, which is Capricorn's motto. That's like your middle name. 9 of Wands is also my card of experimentation, so it's my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. Whatever you're working on, I think more experimentation is definitely going to be your best friend, especially in anything having to do with your value or your values as well with an S. So the Pluto has moved into Aquarius, probably your second house, but again, you're going to have to look at your chart depending on where you were born in the world and what time and all that other good stuff. But for argument's sake, we're going to say that it's your second house. And even if it's not, I would still say that, kind of like anything having to do with things that would make you value yourself more is what I would be experimenting with the 9 of Wands. This could also have to do with your confidence as well. Like, for some of you, I think it would be a great time to stack those small wins, especially if you're trying to build something like a career, business, a new relationship even, kind of like starting small and building your confidence that way would be very, very beneficial with this 9 of Wands energy. Next, you have the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands is standing out. I mean, I can't even count how many readings over the last year or like 2 years I've done where the reading kind of says it's your time to shine. Like all the readings say that for you, Capricorn. And so by that, I mean, like, yes, you do have to take risks to make that happen. So you have to like show the world what you're made of. I'm pretty sure I've titled readings for you about that in the past as well. And, again, I'm not saying it's going to be easy because, you're probably going to have to, like, face some sort of fear with the moon showing up here. Or, if you are doubting yourself or doubting that you're capable of doing something, that might be what you have to overcome to really show the world what you're made of. But I feel like the Six of Wands really wants you to do that. He's getting a lot of attention for his victory. There's even this person here who's meant to look jealous. But the whole point of it is that he doesn't care because he's the one that is victorious. And so the Six of Wands says that we have to embrace a victory, but that could also mean that we have to face some sort of fear to have a victory. And I kind of feel that here going like this way. But you do have the Eight of Wands, which says that you will probably have the victory. So I would do it here, Capricorn. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like Capricorns are perfectly independent, perfectly able to do what they need to do. Nine of Pentacles is a card of gratitude and luxuries. If I am getting, like, if you are worried about money, I do feel like things are going to turn around for you with the Nine of Pentacles. I really feel the universe has spent a long time, like, teaching you your capabilities, So it's like, let's say you've had failures in the past dealing with finances. I feel if you really look at those situations, you've probably come out on top every single time. Like, yeah, maybe something happened and it sucked, but you've probably been able to fix it. And I'm getting a lot of that. You don't really have any cards of confidence here, but I'm getting a lot about you building confidence, but also needing to realize that you should be confident. It's like it's one thing to be confident and like not have the goods to back it up. It's another thing to be able to look at your past and say, oh, I've overcome all these things. I should be confident, right? And that's kind of the energy I get off the Nine of Pentacles. Like, I feel like she is very confident. I feel like she is able to, do the work and do a lot of things. So I feel, part of me feels this reading is saying you really need to believe in yourself more. And I kind of feel like you are because of that Eight of Wands. Yes, with the Nine of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles. I would be experimenting with however you make money here for sure. Looking for new ways to make money, focusing on your skills, really. The Nine of Pentacles, she has these grapes behind her, and those grapes, in the tarot represent something that's very difficult to grow, but she can do it well. So she has a skill that is hard for most people, but she can do well. So, again, I would be looking at your skills and thinking about how you can, increase your skills, make yourself more valuable, anything having to do with value with that Pluto in your second house. And, again, that would be very beneficial for you, especially with your skills. With the Six of Wands, you have the Eight of Swords. Yes, don't hold yourself back. Like, if you deserve something, you need to claim it, right? With that Six of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords would be like, it would be like winning but being like, oh no, like, I'm not going to take this win publicly, right? It's like, imagine you came in first place at the Olympics. It would be like you hiding when it's time to stand on the on the pillar or whatever, right? And I feel like this is saying, like, no, you need to claim those wins, and maybe you need to talk about yourself more, or put yourself out there more, or something. Like, especially if you have a business or a career, I would be like bragging more, talking about your accomplishments more, all that other stuff. Like, this is really, I really get that kind of holding yourself back energy when you have earned it. It's like, there's nothing wrong with bragging if you can back it up. That's really what that's saying. With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Strength card. Yes, same thing. Basically, the Strength card has earned the right. She is doing something that is crazy. She is sticking her hands in a lion's mouth. Like, who in the right mind would stick their hands in a lion's mouth? The answer is nobody. And so, Capricorn, it is your time to shine. Like, she has earned the right. She has done the work. The lion is submitting to her. The lion represents her inner voice, her inner critic, her inner demons, but those things are submitting to her. She's the one that's in control. So she has earned the right to kind of like put on this display of strength that she is putting on the card, right? Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have the slow it down card and this communicate card. Yeah, and you have the Page of Swords and the Eight of Wands, which can both be cards of communication. So if you're dealing with any important communications, I would definitely slow it down. I mean, Mercury retrograde, Venus retrograde. I don't know. Today is day 2 of Mercury retrograde. I don't want to speak too soon. I'll knock on wood here as well for us, but it doesn't feel too crazy to me yet. That could change for sure, but I would, take it slow for sure during retrogrades and double check everything. As I always say, I think all the retrograde rules are ridiculous. I think all we have to do is maybe take our time, slow things down. People always ask me, like, can I sign a contract during Mercury retrograde? I'm like, yeah, you can. I've moved like 3 times during Mercury retrograde. I just double check it. I always send the contract to someone else to double check it, and I've been fine every single time. So, again, as long as you are double checking things, triple checking things, as long as you're not rushing through things, you will be perfectly fine, right? And communicate as well. The other thing about Mercury retrograde is, like, let's say you're signing a new job offer. If there's something you don't like, speak up about it. Mercury retrograde can cause a problem because we don't speak up about something that we should. This goes for all other areas of your life as well. If, like, you get into something like a relationship during retrograde, as long as you communicate clearly and as long as you're paying attention to the evidence, you will be perfectly fine. It's only when we allow things to happen where we don't speak up when we should have that the problem exists. So, again, as long as you're being clear, you will be fine. And as long as you're taking your time, right? You have the Page of Swords, the Temperance card, and the Eight of Wands. Page of Swords is curiosity. I feel like something has captured your curiosity. It could be anything. It could be a person, place, or a thing. I feel like it's multiple things. Like, I really feel... with Pluto having left your sign, I feel a lot of you are really looking to mix things up here. And you could be looking for all sorts of new experiences, as Pluto moves forward and as we get away from this crazy-ass energy that we've been dealing with since November with all the retrogrades. So basically by the time we get into May, you're probably going to have like a new sense of freedom in the world by that time, which is going to be really good for you, Capricorn. So you could just be looking for, more fun, opportunities for growth, just exciting opportunities, innovative opportunities, all those things. And the Page of Swords says you don't have to fully commit to any of these ideas, but it is an excellent time to research them, right? Page of Swords, he's just curious. He just looks into things and he learns about them and he just, thinks about it and he kind of goes from there. So I think that would be great for you at this time. Next, you have the Temperance card. Temperance, of course, is patience, and we do have that slow it down card. So you might want to move very quickly at this time, but, obviously retrogrades, so you might be forced to take your time, and that's fine. Sometimes I think when we've been through a very difficult period of time, we try to run away from it as quickly as possible, which makes sense. But, I feel like the Temperance card is saying, like, hey, there's no rush in whatever it is that you're doing at this time or whatever you're working on. Build it up, take your time, have fun while you do it, and things will be great. Now, you do have a little bit of a contradictory energy here, which is the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is very quick movement. But the thing with the Eight of Wands is it has to do with focus. Now, you have the Nine of Pentacles twice in your reading. She is holding this falcon on her hand here, and the falcon represents the fact that she is training her focus. So what I would say is, like, yeah, sure, the reading is saying slow it down. But at the same time, if you are focused on something and you make something your dedicated focus, then things can move quicker. I'll give you a great example. These readings right here. Pretty much the first thing I do, one of the first things, is I get my readings done every single morning, right? And so I do these, and for me, the time goes by very quickly because I only focus on these readings. I don't have anything else. My phone is off. Everything is off except for my screen over here, right? And I'm dedicated focus to this one thing. And I get things done so much faster. I'm a crazy Pisces as well. I used to do like a million things at once. But it's like after a few years, I learned that I needed to carve out dedicated time for things that I'm working on. And when I do that, and I eliminate distractions, I get a lot more done. And the Eight of Wands is all about that. It says, like, when you're focused on something, only focus on that thing and get it done. And don't focus on anything else. And if you do that, things will move forward more quickly, right? With the Page of Swords, you have the King of Pentacles, which you have twice here. So we go from the King of Pentacles up to the King of Pentacles. For some of you, this could be a person. So if you're looking for love, this could be a new love connection. Could be another earth sign. Could be a person with earth in their chart. Could be any sign. General reading. King of normally, sometimes I feel King of Pentacles a little bit boring, but at the same time, could be very good. The one thing that does make things better is the Queen of Wands. So sometimes I say that the King of Pentacles is good. He can represent a person who really wants something stable, but the spiciness is missing. But, the Queen of Wands, that kind of makes things a little bit better. Also, again, I think that with the Page of Swords, this could be you looking for ways to increase your finances. King of Pentacles is wealth building. So, again, learning as much as you can about money is a good idea. With the Temperance card, you have two cards. You have the Page of Wands and the Magician. Yeah, the Page of Wands is kind of like about going on an adventure without knowing like where it's going. He's just willing to go on an adventure because he feels excited about it or he feels enthusiastic about it. And the Page of Wands is really about following your enthusiasm. The Magician is about, attraction, of course, and new beginnings. He would be kind of pointing over here to the Queen of Wands. And so the Queen of Wands we're going to talk about for sure. I kind of feel the Queen of Wands is maybe the most important card in this reading for you, Capricorn. The Queen of Wands, she's willing to go to learn as she goes. So if you're starting anything new, it's about just learning as you go. With the Eight of Wands, you have the Two of Wands, another travel card. You have that travel card over here. The Two of Wands is about getting out of your comfort zone. He has the whole world in his hands, and he just needs to get out into the world and have new experiences. So that's what I would do with the Two of Wands. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Toxic Triggers card. It says, find the strength to remove yourself from toxic influences in your life. You have this Infinite Possibilities. It says, you're on the right path. Favorable energies are guiding you at this time. Love it. So, coming up in the good stuff, this would definitely say that you are removing toxic influences, which is a good thing. You have the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Seven of Swords and the good stuff would be about learning how to win in a different way. He is stealing those swords from an army in the background here. And so instead of going to war, he is stealing the swords. Seven of Swords comes up a lot right now. It really started at the beginning of Pluto and Aquarius. Seven of Swords coming up for everybody. And the Seven of Swords just is about innovation. It's not really innovation. It's more like tactics, right? Instead of going straight towards something, is there a better way to accomplish your goals? And that's what he wants you to do. You have the Queen of Wands, again, probably your most important card here. I've been feeling this type of energy for you for a long time, Capricorn. Queen of Wands, she is willing to start a journey and learn as she goes. So she doesn't need to know every single little detail about something new that she's starting. She is just willing to get started and kind of see how things go. So I think that would be good for you. She also doesn't care what people think. She has this black cat right here. And black cats during the times of tarot were considered unlucky, but the whole point of the black cat is she doesn't care what people think. She just likes the cat. So, it's about doing things and not caring what anyone thinks, and I feel that has come up for you a lot. You have the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups, of course, could be new love, but Ace of Cups right now is also about getting into the flow. Ace of Cups is a self-filling cup. It can easily reach down into the water below it and fill itself back up. So Ace of Cups is about doing things that fulfill you, that you enjoy, that make you happy, and I would be doing more of those things in your life. Let's see here. What is going on for you? And sorry, I messed this deck up. So let's try again. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Judgment card. Yeah, Judgment card is like waking up to your purpose. And a lot of you could be feeling that call to purpose, or you could be moving closer towards something that more resonates with you is what I feel, as far as your purpose is concerned. Yep, with the Queen of Wands, you have the Eight of Wands. Yes, basically for things to speed up, you have to focus, right? The Queen of Wands, she has this sunflower here. And the sunflower points towards the sun. So she is focused on her love, joy, happiness, peace, things that make her feel good. And so I feel as long as you focus on things that you feel good, that you will actually be moving forward very, very quickly with the Eight of Wands. With the Ace of Cups, you have the Hermit. Yes, to find love, obviously people have to know that you exist. They have to see you with their eyeballs, right? So the Hermit says if you want love, you have to get out of hermit mode. The Hermit could also say that, it's time to have fun. And it's time to like get out and do things that you enjoy, and I would definitely do that. You have this lightning card. It says, control your anger or you will be sorry. Yeah, I mean, we still have Mercury retrograde. Mars went retrograde, and it's moving forward now, but it's still in the shadow in Cancer in your opposite sign. So even though Mars is direct, it doesn't matter because you can still fly off the handle, right? Mars retrograde is never a good time to fly off the handle. So there you go. You have this Seahorse card. It says family matters. It's a great time for family, socializing. Anyone you consider to be family as well, spending time with those people. Even just in the astrology, it's a really good time for that. Can't make this one up. It says slowly but surely getting ahead. Yes, we had this whole slow, fast thing going on here. And, so that's what I would say here is like it does have that slow, fast type of feeling to me, which, might sound a little contradictory, but I always have to remind people life is not black and white. There are shades of gray. Sometimes we move slow. Sometimes we move fast. Sometimes slow is fast, right? And fast is slow. So there you go. And I feel this is saying, ultimately take your time. But if there are things that are working with Eight of Wands is very straightforward results, then obviously those things can move fast. You have this Grapes card. Can't make this one up either. It says time to go out and have fun. I mean, the whole entire reading said it. So there you go. And finally, you have this Teapot card. It says deep friendship of someone with what does it say? It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. There you go. So it could be a friend. Friends, like I said, it's an excellent time for like mentorship and things like that. But what I've noticed a lot in the readings is a lot of people have been getting like breakthroughs from friends, like people giving you advice and stuff. So I think it's a great time for friends. But this looks really good, Capricorn. I like it. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your month.